Hey everybody, welcome back to Chatty Cathy's Place. My name is Kathy and today I'm going to be reviewing The Belle Collective, Season 1, Episode 2, Wigs and Waffles. But before I do that, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. It really will do a great wonder for me. Now that you've gotten that out of the way, we'll just get right into this episode. In this episode, the ladies discuss among themselves the brunch mess that we had the privilege of seeing in the previous episode. Latrice is talking to Melanie over FaceTime, and Cliff enters. So she hangs up the phone, and she and Cliff discuss her expanding her business. Latrice, away from Cliff, tells us that he wasn't supportive at first. It seems that now he has a lot to say. Latrice began her business by selling hair out of the trunk of her car. She said there would be long lines wrapped around the parking lot. And ladies and gentlemen, that is when Cliff became interested. Over lunch, Letitia is filling Tamara in about the drama at her brunch. If you remember, Tamara was unable to attend because she had a previous engagement. So she has several good shock faces because she is planning a birthday celebration and has invited all of those ladies. And what she does know is she doesn't want a scene at her party. So Tambra is also surprised that at the brunch Letitia didn't get a chance to make her big announcement. That was the whole purpose of the brunch. But she recalls that Marie had other ideas in mind. All right, so Letitia says she hopes that there's no drama at Tambra's party, and if she hears any grumblings going around town, she'll let her know. That doesn't sound real hopeful to me. And these ladies, I'm not going to say all of these ladies, but that Marie, ooh, yeah. So Essie and Marie, speaking of Marie, also discussed the brunch. Essie was not at the brunch, but she's interested in hearing about all the shenanigans as Marie has painted herself as the victim, if you can imagine. Because what I remember is the ladies were sitting there eating, and Marie confronted Letitia about her hair, and Latrice, I'm sorry, about her hair, and said that her hair was, trash, basically. And then started a big scene. That's what I recall. I know it was a couple weeks ago, but that is what I recall. So I don't know how Marie thinks of herself as a victim. She leans back in her chair, putting her feet up on the desk, allowing us a glimpse of her red bottom shoes, right? Okay. I know she had embraced her victimhood when she told Marie she was out for revenge. Now, what kind of revenge is she going to get for an incident that she created? Oh, I got to see that. So she tells Essie about Tamara's birthday party and says, "You are going." We also learned that Marie has, listen to this, 4 children, 3 grandchildren, all under the age of 1, who are the children of her oldest son, Drez. Um, so you hear that? 3 children, all under the age of 1, fathered by one man. He's been busy. Um, he is a college student, so that's something that's kind of hopeful, right? Maybe he'll get that together. Um, she also supports at least one of those children's mothers. Now, I don't really understand that, nor do I understand her supporting the grandchildren. But I'm going to listen. I'm going to listen. I'm going to watch and find out exactly why she is being taken advantage of. Meanwhile, Letitia is focused on her revitalization plan, which is also supposed to be. This is all supposed to be about the revitalization plan, right? So we've gotten off as we do in reality TV world. She has scheduled a walking tour of Ferris Street. with local historian Ferris Street community liaison. Letitia points out the building she would like to start with. Ms. Davis tells her all about all of the important cultural icons who once entertained on Ferris Street. So Latrice then, in another scene obviously, visits Antoinette, who's trying to decide how to dispose of a box of memories left by her ex-husband. Antoinette is still in distress over the loss of her marriage. And I understand that. The loss of a marriage is just like the loss of someone dear to you when they die. Latrice tries to be a friend to her, but she is really more interested in talking about her new line. She's really thinking about, extending her hair line. Okay, so in fact, she has bought over a prototype meant to cheer Antoinette up, but probably it will take probably a little bit more than some hair to make her happy. So they start talking about the brunch because, I mean, that's all that appears to be on anybody's mind. So next we find Tambra shopping for her party outfit with Ken, who is a stylist at the radio station. So she tells him that she needs two outfits, one for the party and one to meet with her parents, who are dismayed that she is still single and childless. That's something that is pretty common in the southern parts of the United States. Not to say that no other parents put pressure on, but it's nothing like a southern a parent to put that biological pressure on their daughter. Tamara spills the beans that she has some problems with fibroids, and as a result, she has frozen her eggs. Now, if you guys don't know what fibroids are, they're tumors that are non-cancerous but grow within the uterus, and sometimes it makes getting pregnant difficult for a woman. They can grow as large as a baby. And there's been some removal of some that were even larger. So fibroids are a serious illness or condition, I would say, and especially in the African American community. So I'm glad that she put this to the forefront. I remember that they talked a little teeny bit about fibroids on the Real Housewives of Atlanta several years ago, but they didn't really go into how it can affect women who want to get pregnant, and it can negatively affect women. It can also cause you to be super anemic to the point where you're close to dying if they don't do something about it. So there's several things that they can do to get rid of the fibroids, but the main thing that they do is give a woman a hysterectomy, which is the opposite of what Tamara is looking for or concerned with. So she also tells the guy that she is 40 years old. She tells him a nameless NBA player who once offered her $1 million to have her baby since they were both single and childless at the time. We see that Tambra's true character because she said she could never do that. She's not getting with him to make money. She said she could make her own $1 million, and so she stuck to her value system, which I admire. She always wanted to be married and was not in a relationship with a prospective father. So Ken also has messy tendencies, which makes him good fodder for reality TV, right? We like a mess, we like shade. It seems to be that's the thing. So he keeps alluding to the $1 million baby that she could have had. So he's, shading some tea. Please excuse me. We meet Kaylon, Antoinette's friend, at the baseball field to which she has toted along her memory box. Kaylon and Antoinette have been friends since college, and she was there from the beginning of her relationship with her ex-husband until the end, so she saw all the its and bits of pieces. They hit a few balls and hug it out because Antoinette is still hurting over the loss of her marriage, and she wasn't ready for children. If you remember on the first episode, she was saying that she graduated at 25 with her dental degree and she wanted to get right into her career. So when her husband started saying he was ready for her to have children, and her thought was, if I start having children, then I'm going to, put my career on the side because she's going to want to stay home with the children, and then she's going to want to have all her kids at once, so that she doesn't have to put a career on hold more times than one. So she's really thinking that she's going to be putting her body through a whole lot, her mind through a whole lot, and again, putting her career on the side. So this is one of the things that really hurt their marriage. Um, she also had some reservations about raising a biracial child in the South. Now, I am not the smartest person in the world, but I'm pretty sure when Antoinette said her I do's, she knew that her husband was a white man. Consequently, ladies and gentlemen, she knew that if they had biological children, that those children would somehow be biracial. And yet she married him with those reservations in mind. It makes me wonder if she was too young and too immature to even be thinking about getting married. So now she feels a loss of identity because she enjoyed being married, and she keeps telling herself that she's enough. And it kind of reminds me, I'm a little shady on this one. Kind of reminds me of Candace on the Real Housewives of Potomac. If you guys watch it, this last season, she had all of these little sticky notes around telling herself that she was enough, and, positive affirmations and things like that. So, okay. I understand that. What I really think is Antoinette's issue is that she is young, period. Period. They probably shouldn't even allow people that age to get married, because you haven't fully grown into who you are. Your brain is not fully developed, and you're just not ready for all of that. But they do allow you to get married, so that's that. Time for Tamara's birthday dinner. Here we meet Melody. She has been Latrice's publicist, and we've only seen her previously via FaceTime, but now we see her in the flesh. Here she is. Latrice also brings Cliff, aka Zaddy, with her. Letitia remarks that Latrice has brought her entourage with her. She just wants the ladies to talk it out so they can all work together on the Ferris Street project. Latrice is still PO'd at Marie's delivery. She says that customer service is open 5 days a week, and she felt that Marie should not have approached her in the manner in which she did. And I happen to agree with her. It was very tacky. It was very tacky. And I have some issues because initially I thought that Marie was going to be my favorite because she's in my field of study. And I've worked in that field for a long time. And but she started doing stuff that made me think, oh wow, like what the first thing is she said she didn't understand her mother, the choices her mother made when she knew that her mother was a drug addict. Now that may be true for a lot of people who are not in the field, but I am assuming that she has some education in psychology. And so she should actually understand why her mother chose drugs over her children. It is not a wonderful picture, but the truth of the matter is there's some issues there, and that is the result of the issues. And I don't understand how she can be, the CEO of mental health facility without understanding anything about mental health. But I'm just going to leave that alone because that bothers me. And then, as someone who is a mental health professional, for her to, one, go to the brunch looking like a character, just a character, and not a really good character, right? She's looking like I don't know what. And the problem is, I understand that they're in the South, right? Um, but had she done just a teeny bit of research, she would know that as a black woman, that era of clothes that she was wearing, things were not really good for black people in the South. So she didn't even think about what she was wearing. She just wanted to make a spectacle of herself, and she did that. That bothered me. And then for her to confront someone who she didn't even know in such a tacky way at an event, which caused the event to end abruptly. Um, Geez, it gave me a different picture of who Marie is, and now I don't know. She's going to have to win me back, and I know I'm sure that that's exactly what's on her mind. I've got to win Chatty Cathy back. So cue the villain music, right? Because if they didn't put the villain music in, you might not know that there's a villainous situation about to happen. And true to form, enter Marie and Essie. Bam, game over. By this time, Latrice and Zaddy have moved to another table. Latrice points Marie out to Zaddy. Marie is curious also, since she was not at the brunch and she didn't know who that was. So she also has some messy tendencies, right? So she drags Latrice over to the table, and we hear her say, "We being nosy." As they move on from one table to over to where Marie is seated. Kaylon is also at the party. It says it's about to go down as Melody and Latrice get closer to Marie's table. I'm going to pause right here and just make a little comment. I've been watching reality TV since its inception. And the thing that blows my mind, and it happens all the time, whenever there is an outing, an event, a trip, that's when people really show their butts. Don't understand why. Like, when I have disagreements with people, I make a point of not doing it in a public forum. Um, I know they're getting ready to get messy. You know they're getting ready to get messy, so let's get into it. All right, so Letitia tries to make peace and asks Marie and Latrice to talk it out. Clearly, Marie feels the party is not the time to hash it out. I agree. A toast is offered, but Marie refuses to participate. So Melanie slinks away, taking Latrice with her. Letitia takes Antoinette to the side to clear the air since she left the brunch early when Latrice was attacked by Marie. Antoinette is worried because she has been talking about the brunch. They both apologize to Letitia, say that I'll work on my waffles and you work on your wig, and tugs at Antoinette's weave. Antoinette says something that was bleeped out, so I think it probably wasn't a nice word, but they end up hugging it out. Now, Antoinette didn't have an issue with anybody, so I don't know exactly why shade was thrown at Antoinette. Antoinette simply went to the brunch with Latrice. So Letitia wants Antoinette to help in getting Marie and Latrice to talk. And the episode ends with Tambra thanking everyone for coming. And she talks about, after all of this, women empowerment. And they all toast to women's empowerment. Here's till next time. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. God bless.